Do I look like I need your power? Crap, the live stream is on. Hello, everyone. As you can see, I happen to be wearing a Sonic shirt today. And as you can see, I happen to be in the spot where I record my review of the first Sonic movie. And what's this? I have some semblance of a script this time. I wonder what all of these could be about. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Paul of the channel Paul Westerfield, and I'm finally returning today to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie, and the first official trailer, which we got a while ago at the Game Awards in December. I, of course, was ecstatic about this trailer. I really liked the first movie. I have a lot of respect towards Paramount, and I greatly appreciate all the changes that they made for the fans with the original design, as I've said a lot previously. And obviously, on my channel, I've already talked a bit about this upcoming movie. But today, I wanted to dissect it more because we now have an official trailer. But I wanted to look at a little more than just the trailer. But we'll get to that. Starting with the trailer, we now have confirmed that Jim Carrey is back as Robotnik with a redesign based on the original, which I am a huge fan of and I think looks great. Tails, voiced by his official voice actor, Colleen Onshungesi. Colleen, I am so sorry I pronounced your last name completely wrong. And one of the biggest reveals of all that we still didn't know was confirmed until this trailer, was Knuckles will not only officially be in the movie, but he's being voiced by Idris Elba, who is a phenomenal actor and I think was an excellent choice for Knuckles. Knuckles' design looks fantastic. It looks like he's going to be a great antagonist alongside Robotnik. I think Tails is going to be really entertaining next to Ben Schwartz's wonderful Sonic. In general, I'm very excited about how this movie looks. From the trailer alone, it looks like we're going to a lot more interesting locales. We're going to be like touring the overall globe in search for the special glowing green emerald, and we're just going to have a lot of fun with this movie that I'm very excited about. But the big thing is that, as a lot of people stated back when they were filming for this movie, and we saw a lot of special clips, is this movie seems to resemble something, doesn't it? A certain game that a lot of Sonic fans are still highly appreciate and enjoy. Now this game, what's interesting is that this game is a very well-revered 3D Sonic adventure, which don't happen in real. And involves Sonic hanging around people, which didn't happen very often. But it went over really well in this one. He toured a lot of different interesting locales, faced Eggman with the help of his friends, several of whom you could play as, and through a lot of hard work and perseverance, defeated the big, giant, evil blue monster at the end and won. I'm, of course, talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. It had Sonic interacting with humans, going to lots of different locales across the globe, facing a giant blue monster. Wait, everyone hits that game. What was I talking about again? Oh, right. So, Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure, one of the most well-regarded and beloved Sonic games of all time. I am, along with its extremely popular cousin, along with the extremely popular sequel, Sonic Adventure 2. I think this game is going to take heavy influence. I think this movie is going to be a hybrid of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and Knuckles, and Sonic Adventure. That we're going to get a lot of the story beats of Sonic 2 and 3, especially with Sonic and Tails trying to deal with Knuckles, who is teamed up with Eggman right now. But based on a lot of what we've seen, including the gun logo on official military equipment in the movie sets, I think the locales and a lot of what happens in Green Hills is going to be very similar to Sonic Adventure. But one part that I want to discuss quickly that a lot of people are very split on is that we have officially seen an emerald, a giant green emerald in the trailer, with Robotnik going around it, and it's the famous green one. But what fans are split on is if this is the green Chaos Emerald, or if this is a shrunk-down version of the Master Emerald. In my opinion, I'm pretty much positive this is a Chaos Emerald, but for those of you who are familiar with the comics and some of the games, you will know that the Master Emerald has been proven to be able to reject or repel the Chaos Emeralds. So even if Sonic goes supersonic, the power of the Master Emerald will still resist him completely, and it will be completely impossible for him to fight against it, as shown in games like Sonic Adventure and Sonic Heroes with Metal Sonic, and most especially in Battle for Angel Island in the Sonic the Hedgehog IDW games. Because of that, I don't know if this means we're getting supersonic yet. But what I think at least is happening is that we are getting the Chaos Emeralds and will be shown the Master Emerald. I'll remind you quickly that at the very end of the first movie, in both end credit sequences, we first got Tails coming through a portal, but the second one was Robotnik with his new special design stranded on a giant planet full of mushrooms. As many people immediately thought this was a dig at Mario. But there's a little more to it. As many people may forget, there's a zone called Mushroom Hill Zone in Sonic 3 and some of the mobile games that is nothing but giant mushrooms. But in the IDW comic, we get a great shot of Angel Island in Book 7, All or Nothing, that shows a small patch of the island covered in giant multicolored mushrooms. Robotnik is not on a mushroom planet. He's on a secluded part of Angel Island, where he will meet the Master Emerald's guardian, Knuckles the Echidna, and convince him to work with him to defeat Sonic and Tails and collect the Chaos Emeralds so he can take over the world. Again, I think. I did not get to collaborate with Paramount or Sega on this movie as much as I would have loved to, so what do I know? They could be doing it any way they want to. But here's the biggest part of this video for me. What comes after Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the movie? Given that this movie does well, gets great reviews, actually gets a nomination or an Oscar this time because it deserved it. As long as this movie does well, because that's what Hollywood cares about. Good box office, good turnout. As long as the movie does well, what comes next? Personally, this is what I think the next logical step is. I discussed this quite a bit in my original review of the movie, as well as some of my other follow-up episode videos, that I love the way that they wrote Robotnik and that he now has a personal obsession over his machines because they are the only things he can control. And because of that, logically, Metal Sonic is an absolute given. He would take the quill he currently has from Sonic and use that to power a giant robotic version of Sonic that obeys him. Whether Metal Sonic is white and red like all of his other robots, or his classic blue design, we have yet to see. But for an end credits scene, what would we see? Because we already have Knuckles in the movie. No matter what happens with Knuckles, we now have him in the movies. So it wouldn't be that, we get Knuckles teased at the end, so that it's Sonic 3 and Knuckles. No. There's three ways I think the end credits scene could go. The first one is the least likely. We cut to a gun laboratory, and they say something, and they just talk about it and their new devious creation, whatever it is, and just some lines that I don't want to try and write right now. But the final thing is that the final line is one of them says, "There's been a lot of chaos going around, and we need someone who can control it." As he steps up to a giant container full of green liquid. He looks up to it as his face is reflected in the glass, and he says, "We need someone who can control this chaos." And then we get a familiar outline of a black and red shadow. But that's the least likely. I really feel like that's the least likely. I doubt that they're going to go from Sonic on Earth to Gun, Tails, and Knuckles. instantly into Shadow. I think that's jumping the boat a little. So the second one is more likely because I'd like to take a brief time to promote our special book of the day. The Sonic the Hedgehog Encyclopedia, officially published by Sega and released as part of the 30th anniversary celebration of 2021, is now available in most participating retailers and bookstores for the low price of $49.99 for each hard copy. If you want paperback, you're going to have to wait a couple months. But thankfully, I have managed to secure a copy of it, personally. And while I've not fully read it yet, I was able to read a few things. And one of the big things I read was that it seems that the games don't follow the order we thought they did. The game order does not go Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, and Knuckles, CD. From a certain shot, from a certain image in CD that shows Tails waving and saying, "See you next game," even though CD came out after 2, we are led to believe that the order is Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic CD, Sonic 2. Because Sonic did not meet Tails until Sonic 2. But if what we think now is correct, he met Amy and Metal Sonic right after he fought Robotnik in the first game. So maybe for a third movie, we get something a little special. Instead of going in the direction of Sonic 3 or the 3D games, we get a movie based on Sonic CD with a twist. And of course, that would mean that end credit sequence either introduces red-skirted Amy Rose, with her Pico Pico hammer, possibly jumping through a ring gun, or what I would prefer, Robotnik stepping away, however he's been defeated in a new base, and all we get is an outline and the glowing red eyes of the one and only Metal Sonic as it cuts to black. For a Sonic the Hedgehog 3, this is what I would love to see. I would love to see it be that Amy gets captured by the newly introduced Metal Sonic after briefly meeting Sonic, Tails, and possibly Knuckles for the first time. Or as I'm going to refer to them from the rest of the video, Team Sonic, because that's what they are. But what happens is that Sonic isn't meeting Amy for the first time. We get a special flashback, not a long one, but we get a flashback early into the movie. Once Amy gets captured by Metal Sonic as a trap to draw out Sonic, we get a flashback of baby Sonic from the beginning of the first movie meeting green skirt classic Amy when they were children. The only person other than Longclaw he ever knew or trusted as a kid. This would tie them together, have a better relationship with both of them, justify why there's the green skirt Amy, why there's the green skirt young Amy, and then the current red skirt Amy that we all know and enjoy. It would be that she looks up to Sonic, still has a crush on him, but looks up to him and grew to become a better fighter and better person after meeting and getting to know him as a kid on their island before the echidnas attacked him in Longclaw. And with that, we now see that Sonic has a direct relationship with Amy and that he knew Amy long before he ever meets Tails, like what the games seem to have actually built up. How's that for an idea? And as for Amy, obviously, we'd get a great-looking CGI Amy with her Pico Pico hammer and the red skirt. But personality-wise, I would love to see her more like she is in the Archie comics and less like Sonic Heroes. I'd like to see the version of Amy that truly has a direct crush on Sonic, but does not let her love for him override her common sense and good judgment, like it did in games like Heroes, where she literally has the line, "There's no way you're getting out of marrying me now, Sonic." I'd like to see Amy the best way. And the best way to do Amy is to have her love Sonic, but not be obsessed with Sonic, in my humble opinion. So now we get possibly Knuckles, Tails, and Sonic going around trying to save Amy and deal with Metal Sonic and, of course, Eggman. for the epic climax, we get these 3 to 4 characters all teaming up together to fight the big evil Metal Sonic, who possibly turns into a giant kaiju Sonic with the power of Neo. If you got that reference, I love you so much. The power of Neo, Metal Sonic, becomes a Neo Metal Sonic Overlord from Sonic Heroes for the climax. Can you imagine how awesome a climax that could be? Even if it's on like Angel Island or whatever, just using the power of the Master Emerald, he becomes the able to talk Neo Metal Sonic turned into Master Overlord, like in the IDW comics and Sonic Heroes. That would be an amazing climax. And possibly for Sonic 3, we could possibly get the little girl JoJo from the first movie, this time traveling with Sonic and Tails to help bolster and give that sense of a kid getting to go on an adventure with Sonic, because she understands where Amy comes from and how Amy grew up like that. Possibly. And then for this third movie, in the end credits, we get the shadow scene. And what would we call this movie? Oh, I'm thinking not Sonic the Hedgehog 3. That'd work, but I'm thinking Sonic the Hedgehog, Cybernetic Dominance. Or any acronym that has the initials CD, obviously. And I know you could just see some great posters. Like you could get the first poster for the third movie would be a great recreation of the CD cover with Metal Sonic and Sonic attacking each other for the 20th anniversary album. You could get a great poster of that with the new CGI ones attacking each other and say Sonic the Hedgehog, C something, D something. I think that'd work great. But hey, those are just my opinions. It's not like Paramount is going to hire me to write the third one or anything. God, please hire me. Oh, God, please hire me. That would be so amazing. Anyway, these are just my opinions, but it's what I'd most love to see. I'm absolutely ecstatic to see the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie. I'm really excited to see what other trailers come out and what else the movie has planned for us. But I just hope most of all that they once again do that amazing 16-bit credits that they did in the first movie, because that looks amazing. And we get a very special end credits teasing one of these characters. That's just my opinion. And hey, I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. Let me know down in the comments what you would like the most. Who you would most like to see from an end credits in Sonic the Hedgehog 2? Amy, Metal Sonic, Shadow, or someone else? If you think they could go in a different direction, hell, we could get Blaze for the third movie. Can you imagine how crazy that would be? We just immediately jump to Blaze or Silver? That'd be awesome. Oh, and as for who would voice Amy, well, I'm thinking Cindy Robinson, her voice actor from Sonic Boom. I am not saying she has a bad voice actor now, whose name I need to look up, but I prefer Cindy Robinson for this kind of Amy. Just the kind that isn't so mature that she sounds like she's an adult, a full-grown adult, but doesn't have the younger, high-pitched voice that we had from some of the earlier games. Just right in the middle. I think her voice would work great for the movie if they brought her back. But we might get we'll get whoever we get. If it had to be a celebrity, I prefer someone who actually does voice acting for a living, because I think Tara Strong would make a great Amy, but Tara Strong is virtually flawless, in my opinion. But no, in Hollywood, we could get the likes of Megan Fox to voice her. I don't know. I don't want that, but I don't know. I've said more than my share about this, but I'm just glad to be back. I'm going to be doing a lot more in the future. Me and Big Ants are working really hard on that Link CDI redub. We just got a lot to do, so I want to do this video special for you guys. If you liked it, then of course make sure you give it a like. Hit the subscribe button. We're almost at 100 subscribers, and hitting that before my second channel's anniversary, which is just a few days away, would be absolutely wonderful. And of course, I'd be doing something major for that. I've got plenty more Sonic content I want to do, a lot that I didn't get to last year. And just if you like the video, give it a like. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss whenever I actually get back to making videos. just remember that I'm Paul of the channel Paul Westerfield, and we'll see you next time.